Welcome, Flyers fans. You're listening to Chris Mayer, Flyers Fan Mania 93 on YouTube.
All right, so the Flyers pick up a 5-2 win over the St. Louis Blues in a game that honestly the Flyers played well for majority of this game, and honestly, it was kind of refreshing to see that. Obviously it's been different since not having Giroux, having a bunch of different guys, and obviously tonight a new guy comes in the lineup. Hayden Hodgson makes his NHL debut, records a goal and an assist, all in the same night. So it was really nice to see that. And it felt like a lot of guys in this game, a lot of the guys that you'd expect and that you'd want to see continue to play better, continue to finish out the season strong. Guys like Konechny, guys like Hayes, guys like Owen Tippett just coming here, Morgan Frost, Ivan Provorov, who's obviously struggled recently, but I feel like he's honestly put together a handful of very good games. And I know I tweeted that out during this game as well. It's you haven't really heard much of the Provorov hate because he's played well, and I think York has also done a good job of playing on that side. So there's obviously something to build on there. So let's kind of look at this because, again, as I said, the Flyers, Hodgson makes his debut. So the Flyers basically went with 11 forwards tonight and 7D. So you have in the lines in warm-ups were different than the actual game. They didn't really stay. There was a bunch of different switches. So the lines in warm-ups were Van Riemsdyk, Farabee, Atkinson, Hodgson, Hayes, Konechny, Willman, Frost, Tippett, Connaughton, Brown, McEwen. So Connaughton takes the spot. Lindblom was out. He's a little banged up per Mike Yeo. And the defense was Provorov, York, Sanheim, Risto, Yano, and Sealer. And Connaughton and Sealer would interchange. But for a majority of the game, the top two lines pretty much were the same. And again, it kind of felt like as the game was going on, the lines were starting to get together and things like that. But there were some switches as the game went on. Certain guys were with different people. So that was another thing, too. The Flyers were at least able to, sometimes when it's like that, I kind of feel like it might take a little more time for them to get into the game just because they're switching up so many different things. But since they're, a lot of these guys have kind of played together for a majority of the year, it's obviously different. But again, starting off in this game, the Flyers, they really had a good pace of their game early. And one thing I noticed was they had some pretty easy breakouts from St. Louis. I didn't feel like the Blues were really on it, especially in the first period. Only had 3 shots, St. Louis, in that first. So the Flyers were good defensively. And the other thing, too, was the Flyers were at least able to get a north-south pass. And what I mean from that is when you look at that Konechny goal, it's a straight line pass right from Connaughton right up to Konechny flying through with speed. The Flyers, the D hit the forward with speed, and they went into the zone, and they created a lot of chances off of that. If not, they dumped it in. They won puck battles. They did a lot of good things. They had support in the offensive zone. They did things in that first period that you kind of wanted them to do throughout the entire year. And, this is kind of one of them games where I'm like, they have nothing to lose. Obviously, I've talked about it before. As many people want this team to tank and purposely lose games, they're not going to do that. I'm sorry, that's not the NHL. No, I mean, in some cases you've seen it, but it's just very rare. And I don't think the Flyers or any of these players are going to be doing any of that. And it showed tonight. Because, that was a good win for them. There was a lot of good things out of this game. I think starting off, obviously, Konechny, like I talked about, he gets the 1-0 goal here. Beautiful shot. Again, the north-south pass from Connaughton up, springs wide, and it's just a great shot. It honestly reminded me from years ago, and it's funny, that just the way he was skating in and the way that the puck went in, back in the 2015 season, 2014-15, and it was the classic Giroux overtime winner against Boston on the power play that went bar down on Rask. In that game, Wayne Simmons and Sam Gagner both had similar goals, kind of skating up that left side with speed and flicking it high, especially the Simmons one because it went glove side. Gagner's went blocker side, but it's just like, I don't know, I was just kind of thinking about it. Kind of an old Flyers thing there that I kind of was just thinking about as I was doing this. But again, I thought Owen Tippett had a really strong game. I thought he looked good earlier. A lot of good skating, as I said. Tippett had a really nice move. Flyers almost got a slam dunk goal on that. Kind of a play just kind of turned around. And then Patrick Brown will make it 2-0 Flyers on a great pass by Tippett. Great awareness. Drawing back for York. York fires it. Brown, with the slam dunk there on the rebound. Konechny had a chance late, just missed And again, I thought the Flyers had a really good first period. They established how they wanted to play, and they continued that in the second and the third. Early power play for the Blues in the second period, and they would capitalize. Tarasenko makes it 2-1. Basically just waited out Jones. Wasn't much they could do. Didn't really love the D there on the cross seam. It kind of felt like it was just too open, but that's the one thing the Blues are so good at, is they're able to. It's weird because Dominic Moore on the broadcast was kind of breaking down like power plays and stuff. Like, he was basically saying that like if you know where to go, they're kind of easy to stop. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, like, if they were so easy to stop, then I think the Capitals wouldn't have one of the best power plays just about every year because they have Ovechkin. You know what I mean? So it's like everybody knows about Ovechkin, but he still gets that shot off and still scores. So it's like kind of things like that. But he was right about the Blues power play. They're able to move the puck. They have so many weapons. Same thing with Washington. There's other teams too. But again, you get my point. There's different things there, and the Blues were just able to wait out the Flyers and they get the goal. It was a pretty good pace after that power play goal. Chances both ways. Flyers had a lot of looks off the rush. In recent games, if they have looks off the rush, a lot of it's one and done. But the Flyers did a good job of being able to create havoc in the zone, win puck battles. If the puck went out, they at least stopped the Blues right at neutral zone and just kind of come right back in right at the red line. Brendan Saad had a breakaway, really nice save by Jones, had a couple good saves after that. And again, I wrote here in the notes, really like Provorov tonight, strong on pucks, playing smart. He's been much better lately, and he has. He's obviously taken a lot of heat, and there's so many different things that have gone on with him, if that stuff's even true, and this and that, whatever. That's a different story. His game tonight, I thought, was good. I thought he moved the puck well. He played with confidence. You could see it in him, the way he was skating, the way he moved the puck, the way he was, weaving in and out of the Blues forecheckers. Like, he did a good job tonight in really all areas. Flyers get a power play here. Tippett draws a penalty. It's his second penalty drawn in 4 games. In, I believe, one of his first shifts against the Islanders on Sunday, he drew a penalty. Not much going on, though. A couple of chances. Konechny had a shot that went high in the slot. York had a really sweet stretch pass. Quick shot by Farabee there. Then Konechny would score on, again, another stretch pass by York up to Hayes. Just drop it back. Konechny fires. It looked like Oxen tipped it, but ended up rolling over the line. So 3-1. And then Turchenko would score off of just a rough play by Jones and ended up losing the puck. And the Blues forechecker gets in there, passes it out. Yandel wasn't in any spot, and it's a 3-2 game there. So one thing that kind of aggravated me at the end of this game was the Farabee and Ricola, or the end of this period, I should say, the Farabee and Ricola kind of confrontation, because why not let them fight? Like, it's just like, it's part of the game still. Like, I know as people want to say, oh, the game's changed. I understand that. But, like, if they both already have their gloves off, just let them go. Like, it's not like, Farabee's obviously sticking up for himself. I personally don't think Ricola is that much of a fighter or anything like that. Maybe I'm wrong. But, again, I don't really understand why it was all broken up. But they both get 4-on-4, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike. Flyers will get a power play for 1:08. Hayes will draw a hook and call on former Flyer Braden Shen. Flyers actually called a timeout. Couldn't really get much going. I like that timeout call, though, from Mike Yeo, because it's like, okay, we have a chance here. We just gave up a pretty rough goal. We're in a game against a team that we probably shouldn't be winning, or at least, we're playing better than we normally do, and let's try to add one here. And, obviously the Flyers don't score there, but I like that because it's awareness from the coach. He understands that, and I think that's a good play there overall, but the Flyers don't score there, so you go in the third up 3-2. Felt like the first 8-9 minutes or so just kind of went along. Tarasenko had 2 pretty high shots there for the Blues. He fired one, circled around, fired another one. They both went high. Then it was just all Blues for like a 1.5-minute shift, and they looked like they were pressuring to tie the game. Jones had a couple good saves. Flyers were kind of just gassed, but it was pretty much all St. Louis for majority of those couple shifts. And then the Flyers would score. Really sweet play from Hayes. Just sweeps in and ends up deflecting off of Bennington's mask, and Hodgson would just slam the rebound home to make it 4-2, and then Farabee, a couple minutes later, would get an empty netter. And the one thing I loved from the Flyers was when they went up 4-2, they didn't sit back. They attacked. They got a power play. They had a couple looks there. Some nice passing. Didn't really get any shots, but they attacked. And that seemed like that was the main thing throughout the entirety of this game, was attack through the neutral zone with speed. Attack when you're up. continue. Don't let your foot off the pedal. And that was one thing the Flyers did tonight, and they get a 5-2 win out of it. So maybe maybe this trip might look a little bit different. I'm not too sure. Obviously, there's still games left, and as for a guy like Hodgson, I thought he played well. And again, I thought a handful of Flyers played really good tonight, and it was a good win for the team. So let me know your guys' thoughts below. Remember, guys, podcast articles, those links are on my channel. SeatGeek and Garrett Group Construction, you can check them out. Same thing with the merchandise link. And I'll talk to you all again soon.